You probably clicked on this video because you were tired of eating eggs for breakfast every morning and you're on search of other high protein breakfast options. Well, you came to the right place because I'm about to go over a week's worth of high protein breakfast ideas that'll keep you full till lunch. And make sure you stick to the end because I saved the best for last. Let's eat. First things first, I like to start off the mornings taking my colostrum straight to the head. Very powdery. I also have been drinking kefir in the mornings before breakfast, or any sort of probiotic works. And I like to take my kefir with these grass-fed beef liver capsules that I found on Amazon. Everything will be linked below, but this is how I like to start off my mornings right before breakfast.
My first high protein breakfast recipe is a breakfast burrito. I'm using eggs, cheese, bacon, tortillas, onions, peppers, and jalapenos. I always make sure to get an uncurd and sugar-free bacon. I really love the brand Applegate. And while the bacon is cooking, I'm going to prep my other ingredients for the scramble. So I'm using 2 eggs, milk, and then I'm cutting up my onions, peppers, and jalapenos and throwing them all in together.
All right, so for the tortillas, I'm using this Siete brand. I love this brand because it's gluten-free and it's relatively clean. They kind of sold out when they got bought out and change the ingredients a little bit, but for the most part, they're still clean, so I do like to use them. They're also relatively low on carbs, and I do prioritize having a low-carb breakfast because it avoids that afternoon crash, so that is why I like going with them. But let's put this breakfast burrito together.
Once everything is cooked, we just have to assemble the burrito. I melted some cheese on the tortillas and I'm placing some bacon, the scramble, and then some sour cream. This could also be really good with some hot sauce, but we are finished.
If you enjoyed this recipe, you're gonna love the one that I have in store for tomorrow. Good morning and welcome back to my cooking show. So some mornings I wake up and I am just not feeling eggs. And for those mornings, I like to make a yogurt chia pudding.
For my chia seed pudding, I'm using yogurt, vanilla extract, maple syrup, chia seeds, obviously, fresh fruit, protein powder, and a little bit of milk. I'm mixing together 1/4 cup of chia seeds with 2 cups of liquid. And for my liquid base, I'm using 2/3 cup of yogurt and only 1/3 of a milk base. And the reason being is because yogurt has a lot more protein and it makes the dish more hearty. I'm also adding a scoop of vanilla protein powder to add even more protein, and some vanilla extract and a dash of maple syrup for some sweetness. Then the whole thing goes in the fridge for about 3 to 4 hours. Ideally, you would make this the night before, or you can make this on a Sunday and have it ready for the week. But while that is in the fridge, I'm going to cut up some fresh fruit. I'm using strawberries.
The next day.
All right, so I'm not usually this fancy, but I wanted to impress you. So I'm gonna make my yogurt chia pudding in this fancy cup. The chia seed pudding is out of the fridge. Okay, it's ready. As you can see, it has it has formed. It is not sloshy. So that means the pudding is ready, and let's transfer it to our cute cup.
Now it just comes down to assembling the dish. I'm adding a layer of chia pudding and then a layer of grain-free granola and then another layer of pudding, and then on top of that I am adding my strawberries.
I should do this more often for myself. You could also drizzle some like almond butter or whatever nut butter you like on top. That could be good too. Honestly, this is perfect. I have an even juicier breakfast idea next. See you in the morning. Good morning. So today is an exciting breakfast because we're making pancakes. We're making protein pancakes. Who doesn't love pancakes for breakfast? And I am using this Simple Mills brand because I love this brand. They are so clean, relatively low in carbs, and gluten-free. So yeah, if you haven't tried any of their products yet, I highly recommend you do. Let's get into it.
For my high protein pancakes, I'm using my Simple Mills pancake mix, some vanilla protein powder, an egg, and some oil. Whisking everything together and then using my stainless steel pan to cook my pancakes. In the meantime, I'm going to cut up these gorgeous strawberries. They're super sweet at the moment. Got them at Whole Foods. drizzling on top a little bit of maple syrup because I don't like my pancakes too sweet, and there you have it.
All right, so my protein pancakes are ready. I guess there's only one thing to do, and that's just to dig in. All right. The vanilla really complements the strawberries. Tomorrow's high protein breakfast is one of my favorites, so I'll see you in the morning. Good morning. So today we are making bell pepper egg cups. Really love this one because it is super low on carb and a fun take on eggs for breakfast. So first thing I'm going to do is turn the oven on while I'm prepping my ingredients. All right, does anyone else use their oven for storage? Our apartment is so small, we have to put all our pots and pans here. So first things first, find a place for these.
While my oven was preheating, I cut up all the peppers in halves and placed them on a tray ready for the oven. In the meantime, while the peppers are slightly roasting in the oven, I'm preparing all my ingredients for the egg mixture. You can add whatever vegetables you like in your scramble, but to add extra protein, I'm adding a sausage, and then I'm also adding mushrooms, garlic, onions, and jalapenos. Mixing it all together, and then I'm taking the peppers out of the oven and pouring in that mixture into each cup. I'd recommend buying bigger peppers from the store. Mine were a little bit small and the egg mixture tended to leak out a little bit. But on top, I ended up putting some gorgonzola cheese. This is a raw milk cheese that I found at Whole Foods, and I thought it was cool because it was raw milk, and that's hard to find sometimes. Then I'm throwing everything back in the oven, and this is what they look like when they came out. Super juicy and delicious.
All right, so our stuffed bell pepper cups are out of the oven. I am so excited to eat these. These are also really great for storage. If you make a whole bunch, you can put them in a Tupperware and store them for the week. Let's take a bite. These are loaded and full of flavor, great source of protein, and essentially zero carb. Ooh. I put jalapenos, they're a little spicy. Okay, so you might actually click off this video once I show you my next breakfast idea, but I'm gonna show it to you anyways. See you tomorrow. Good morning. So today's breakfast is super controversial, but it's a spin-off on a classic. It is just my healthy version of it, and I love it, but some people think it's absolutely disgusting. So I'm gonna show you, and hopefully you'll try it at home. So this is my version of Cinnamon Toast Crunch, and it only involves 4 ingredients. First thing for the base are pork rinds. So I use the brand Epic because it is a cleaner brand of pork rinds, if you even want to consider pork rinds a clean food. I do, but you know, some people don't eat pork and stuff like that. Anyways, raised without antibiotics, and pink Himalayan salt. So let's get this open. All right, so I like to break up the pieces a little bit because some of them can be kind of big like this, and I like to make them bite-sized. So I'll snap some of the pieces in half and pour some milk on top. Look how cute this little milk is.
This recipe is super quick and easy. All I'm doing is pouring some pork rinds in a bowl and then crushing them up into smaller pieces, adding some milk, cinnamon, and a little bit of maple syrup for some sweetness, and that's it.
No, 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 no.
All right, if you're pressed for time in the mornings, you could definitely make this. It literally took 3 minutes, and let's try it. It's fire. Keto, low carb, friendly version of the classic Cinnamon Toast Crunch. So I'm a sweet and savory girl. I love mixing sweet and savory. This is perfect for me. but I could totally understand if this isn't your thing. I saved the best recipe for last, so I hope I'll see you in the morning. Good morning. By the way, I'm serving looks and breakfast this week in case you haven't noticed. But anyways, today we're making a sweet potato waffle breakfast sandwich. And am I the only one that watches those food recipe videos down in the subway in New York City? I think they're so interesting. But I saw this recipe on there and I was like, yeah, I gotta try that. So let's get into it. I got my heart-shaped waffle maker. Look how cute she is.
First thing I'm doing is peeling and boiling my sweet potatoes. You can also put them in the microwave to cook faster, or you can do this the night before or even a few days before and have it already in your fridge cooked and ready to go. Once the sweet potatoes are cooked, I'm adding an egg and mixing it together, and then that's going to be my mixture for the sweet potato waffles. Buttering up the waffle maker and then putting in my mix. And while that's cooking, I'm going to prepare the ingredients for inside the sandwich. So I'm cutting up an avocado and frying up an egg and some bacon. Of course, you can put whatever you'd like in the sandwich. Once the sweet potato waffles are all cooked, I just assemble the sandwich, and that is it. She's a beauty.
I made the egg over easy so it might splatter everywhere, but that's the best part about it, right? This is really good. I'm a savory and sweet girl. I love mixing the two, and this is a perfect mixture of savory and sweet. And I feel so good eating this waffle because I know it's gluten-free and it's not gonna like give me a stomachache or bloat me. This is delicious. So that concludes my week of high protein breakfast ideas. Let me know in the comments what your favorite breakfast was. And if you love this video, make sure you check out this other one that I have on everything I eat in a day. Peace, bye, love you, see you in the next video. Like and subscribe, all the above.